Hello, everybody. Today I'm reviewing your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I've been wanting to review the Marvel shows as they come out since I'm very behind on reviewing Marvel shows. But I'm going to review the first two episodes of this show. So I might as well talk about my history with Spider-Man shows. So I love Spider-Man shows. It's just unfortunate that some of them don't last as long. Like I love Spectacular Spider-Man. I still don't know why we don't have a season 3. The show is hard to track down. It sucks that they removed it off Disney Plus, but hopefully we'll be back on there. I love the 90s Spider-Man. That show was amazing. It's too bad that show ended on a cliffhanger. I have a soft spot for Ultimate Spider-Man because that was actually my first Spider-Man show I grew up watching. But also we got Spider-Man Unlimited. I was alright. The new Spider-Man animated series, which I think was meant to be part of the Raimi-verse, but it ended up just being its own thing. But now we got this show, which is sort of, I don't think it's part of the MCU. Maybe it could be like part of the MCU's multiverse, but it's basically a origin for Spider-Man again. But this time they skipped the Uncle Ben getting shot stuff after Peter gets his powers. It seems like he just died. We don't know how. Since the one thing about the MCU is like they don't really explore Uncle Ben. Like he's barely referenced at all other than just a suitcase with his initials on it. But this Peter Parker so far is pretty interesting. He's got the nerdy tech side with him and his innocence. But so far the roster of characters I'm not really sure about, since we don't have MJ, we don't have Gwen, we do have Harry, but they're not best friends. Because Spider-Man ends up just saving him in this show. But the way he gets his powers is not what you expect. It's where when he goes to school with Aunt May, who's also younger, just like in the MCU, they go to school, but they bump into Doctor Strange. And I thought he was voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, but he's a big celebrity, so they got a different voice actor to voice Doctor Strange. And he fights like this symbiote monster thing. I don't even know what it was, but apparently a spider falls out of the portal and it literally bites Peter. And he meets this new girl. I forget her name. I'm having a moment. Her name is Niku. But apparently I'm guessing she's going to be the best friend of Peter in this show. She could be potentially an MJ. I'm not sure. But Peter passes out and the story takes place months later. Peter's already adjusting to his powers, and so far he's wearing his prototype suit. We did see a poster for promotional of Spider-Man in his awesome red and blue suit. I hope as the show goes on we do see him in his costume. But throughout this show, he's mainly just testing his powers. For example, when he saves Harry from a group of goons, the style of combat does look like how it looks in the comic books. But overall, I'm not really sure if I'm too invested in these side characters, like I said. He does try to ask out his old babysitter. Her name is Pearl, but she's already gets taken, and Peter is bummed. But this is mainly a romance episode, sort of. It's just a short come-of-age story. But the episode does end where we do meet Norman Osborn, who is apparently supposed to be Tony Stark to Peter in the MCU. But in this universe, this time he gets recruited by Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark. And he even sees the car. We even see the music play from Captain America Civil War. And Peter even says the same lines where he saw a cool car. But that's that episode. But the next episode's kind of just where Peter does get offered to be an internship at Oscorp. And Peter mainly goes there, and he meets up with his other science people. We see cameos from people We see this one girl from Wakanda. We see Amadeus Cho. We also see Kurt Connors, but this time they changed it to a woman this time. And some people are mad over that. I don't know why, but honestly, I like it. I like what they did with Kurt Connors so far. But she mainly helps Peter with her science project, and he's mainly just adjusting. And mainly Peter just gets late. It's a mainly Peter Parker thing whenever he is late to stuff. But so far we don't know what's really going on with this show. We don't know what villains he's going to really be fighting or what other superheroes he's going to fight. We also see a poster with Norman Osborn and Captain America. I thought that was cool. But what I'm really excited for is the cameo of Daredevil. Charlie Cox is going to voice Daredevil in this. I'm excited for that. But we also get a reference to Iron Man. So he does exist in this universe. We see him as like a bobblehead in Aunt May's car. But yeah, so far this Spider-Man show is pretty decent. I'm just waiting for more to come. Maybe these characters are going to grow on me. I do like the relationship between Peter and this one guy named Ronnie. He's like one of the football players. But yeah, we don't know if he's going to be best friends with Harry in this show. But what happens at the end is where Peter is caught for being Spider-Man by Norman Osborn. And it just leaves off with a cliffhanger. But this show is definitely a lot of fun so far. So I'd probably give these episodes like a 7 out of 10. But the one big thing that kind of ruined it for me for this show is one of the actors who played Spider-Man in this cartoon. Apparently he made a weird comment before the show came out. He said the show was woke and annoying. He was afraid that was going to be in the show. And it's like, I don't know why, but like, I don't know why an actor would say that before a show comes out. Like, it's just weird. It's just like a weird comment that they gotta say that. And literally all these outrage YouTubers who were already picking on this show before it came out just because there's a few race-swapped characters, even though race has nothing to do with the characters at all. But for some reason, they're mad about it for whatever reason. It's basically just like a bingo list for these outrage YouTubers. Like, they're just checking the list of things they don't like. And I know my friend, the Hedgehog Nerd, doesn't want to cover this show because of the actor's comments. I mean, that's his choice, but I'm not going to say it's wrong. If he doesn't want to cover it, that's okay. But I feel like covering this show because I like Spider-Man. He's easily one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite superheroes, and I'm so happy we finally got a new Spider-Man cartoon, even if it's stuff we've kind of already seen in the Spider-Man universe. But we'll just have to wait and see, since they are going to do seasons 2 and 3, and I'll definitely look forward to it. So we'll just have to wait. So yeah, I got nothing else to say about this show. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.